Hi there, this is Tim Blankenship, owner of SCB Legal Doc Assist. We are a licensed and bonded legal document preparation firm specializing in the divorce process, and we serve all of Los Angeles County. Today we are talking about completing the schedule of assets and debts. We are now on part 3 of the court's procedure in filing for divorce. If you've been following along, we've covered the filing process, the service process, and now we're on the financial disclosure process. So let's take a look at the court website, and just as a refresher, let's look at where we're at. We've covered step 1, file the forms, step 2, serve the forms, and step 3, we're now on disclose financial information. We've already talked about the income and expense declaration. Now we're going to talk about the schedule of assets and debts, form Fl-142. So let's hop on over to the Fl-142. I'm sorry, the Fl-140. That's the declaration disclosure. We'll be talking about that next. Where are we? Here we are, Fl-142. So the schedule of assets and debts, and we'll move through this quickly as well because it is a 4-page form, and I don't want to have this video be too long. Again, you can always call us if you have questions or want assistance with your filing of your divorce. The caption information here, your name, address, city, state, and zip. Attorney for, in, pro, per. You can always do that again, or you can say self-represented. It's your choice. It's essentially the same. Superior Court of Los Angeles, and petitioner respondent. Mark who you are. Are you the petitioner? Are you this the response? Case number. You'll have a case number at this point. All right, so let's get into this. So here's the instructions. List all of your known community and separate assets or debts. Include assets even if they are in the possession of another person, including your spouse. If you contend an asset or debt is separate, put P for petitioner or R for respondent in the column separate property to indicate to whom you contend it belongs. All value should be as the date of signing the declaration unless you specify different valuation date with the description. So what that means is you're going to go through this description here. You're going to indicate if it's separate. And separate property, we'll discuss what the difference between separate and community property is in another video. When it was acquired, the date, its value, and the amount of money owed or the encumbrance on it. So for real estate, you can put your home address. You can say that it was purchased, whatever the date is. You can just say January, 2005. What's the fair market value? Feel free to contact a realtor to get a fair market value, or you can use Trulia or one of those online sites to determine what the home value is. How much is the loan? We'll say it's $425. So that's how you're going to go through this process here. Household furniture. One thing to note when you're giving a value to furniture and certain items, they say you want to use a garage sale value. So that $4,000 couch or TV that you have, you're not going to put that value in here. The value you're going to use is going to be a garage sale value. As it's been explained to me, is if you were going to sell that item at a garage sale, bargain basement prices, what would the value be today? And that's what you're going to use. In many cases, we'll use instead of itemizing, you can itemize all your furniture here if you like. You can also say miscellaneous furniture or miscellaneous appliances and just give an overall value for that line item as opposed to line by line doing each item in your home, especially if you have a lot of property. Any jewelry, antiques, or coins. Vehicles, boats, trailers. So what's going to help you here is if you do this in this fashion. 2010 Toyota Corolla, license number. Okay, you're going to want to put the license number in there, and then that'll be good to go. The reason you want to do this is because at the time of judgment, you're going to want to identify the vehicles. So when we prepare the judgment and you're separating the assets and debts, you can identify the vehicle by its license plate. Now, I'll mention now that we're getting into vehicle savings account, checking accounts, anything that has a statement or an account, you're going to want to supply copies of the latest statement. So you're going to want, for vehicles, for instance, you're going to want a copy of either the pink slip if you own it, or of the, if it has a lien on the vehicle or boat or trailer, a copy of the statement. Savings accounts, you're going to just put, Chase Bank, and you can just put the last 4 digits of the account numbers. You don't need to put all of the account number. We just need to identify it, and so we can just use the last digits there. Now for values, you can just take your last statement. When did you open the account? How much is in the account at this moment on that last statement? It should match up, and the amount of money. I don't know if you have a lien, but this will probably be 0 here. Checking accounts, same thing. Credit unions, same thing. They all have their own line. Cash that you have under the mattress, if any. Tax refund. If you just recently got a tax refund, you can say, 2012 tax refund and how much it was. A life insurance. This only applies if it's a cash value. If it's term insurance, it does not go on here. Any stocks and bonds, retirement and pensions, fair market value. If there's a lien on it for whatever reason, any profit sharing, any accounts receivables for businesses you may own, partnership, and so forth. Any other assets that were not included. Okay. Now we're on to debts. So you notice page 4, it switches course here and it goes to debts. Any student loans, any back taxes you owe, maybe state or federal, any support arrearages, loans that are unsecured. Again, always supply an account number. Credit cards. So you're going to want to say, Chase Bank, and again, you want to give the last 4 of the credit card number so we can identify it, how much it is. In the separate property, we kind of passed right over that, but all these items, if it's separate property, you can say whose separate property it was. So if you got this checking account or this credit card after you separated and you're the petitioner, you could say P, it's mine, it's my debt, it's not community debt. And you can do that throughout, or you can leave all these blanks. It's completely up to you. Any other debts that did not fall into any of these categories here, you would indicate them here. Total your debts. If you have a lot of debts, you can add a continuation sheet here, say 1, and you can do a continuation and kind of follow the same path as you've been going. You're going to date it, you're going to type your name, and you're going to sign it. This schedule of assets and debts, along with the income and expense declaration, makes up what the court calls the Declaration of Disclosure, the financial disclosures which are required as part of Step 3 of the divorce process as outlined by the courts. The next form, these forms do not get filed with the court. These are prepared by you, they're signed, you provide copies of the statements to support the numbers that you've reported on there, and you serve those on the other party. Now, there's another form that you do file with the court called the Declaration of Disclosure, which we'll talk about in another video, which you file with the court, which instructs the court that you've finished this process and you've filed or you've served those forms on your spouse. And we'll talk about that. Again, that's called the Declaration of Disclosure. Again, my name is Tim Blankenship, owner of SCB Legal Doc Assist. We provide affordable divorce services, licensed and bonded in the County of Los Angeles, and we look forward to serving you. Thank you.